Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Flat Bill. Um, haven't done a video in a while. I apologize for that. One of the reasons I haven't done anything is this year I've decided to get into triathlon. So all spring and summer, I've been training and racing triathlons. I actually have a half Ironman in Augusta, Georgia, in 3 weeks, and another half Ironman distance race here in my local state of Mississippi. So much of that has consumed most of my time. The reason I'm making this video today is I'm trying to do a little something different. In about 4 weeks, Gadget and I are planning a trip to the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. We plan to do a 3.5 day, 3 night, about 50-mile loop up in the Great Smoky Mountains. And I'll go over the plan with you real quick. The first day is still undecided. The first day right now we're talking about going up the Alum Cave Trail up to Mount LeConte, and then coming down the Boulevard Trail, intersecting with the Appalachian Trail. Follow the Appalachian Trail north up to Charles Bunyan to see that area, and then we'll head down the Dry Sluice Gap Trail down to campsite 49. The only problem with that is that first day is about 17 miles. So we're not sure if we'll be able to do that. The other option is just to park the car at Newfound Gap, hike north on the Appalachian Trail, and then go down the Dry Sluice Gap Trail to campsite 49. Second day, it looks like we're going to be heading down the Bradley Fork Trail, and it intersects with the Smokemont Loop Trail, which then intersects with the Newton Bald Trail. And then from what I understand is the Newton Bald Trail is actually part of the Benton McKay Trail. So we'll take Newton Bald Trail up to campsite 52 and stay there. That intersects with the Mountain to Sea Trail. And so the next day we'll take the Sunkota Ridge Trail, which is actually part of the Mountain to Sea Trail. It'll intersect with the Martins Gap Trail, and then we'll head north on the Deep Creek Trail up to campsite 53. And the last day we'll take Fort Ridge Trail up north to the Appalachian Trail, and then we'll just take the Appalachian Trail back out to Newfound Gap. After that, I think we're going to take the car over to Klingsman's Dome and go up that area and just get some video footage there. But the reason I'm making this video is I'm going to do something new. And what I want to do is kind of a what's in my pack. Kind of show you all what I'm taking on the trip, what's going to be in my pack, what I'm leaving at home, how much weight I'm carrying for just a small 3.5 day, 3 night trip. I think the temperatures, it's hard to know this far out, but looking at the almanac in the past, roughly low 30s at night, mid low 30s at night, and 50s, high 50s, low 60s during the day. So not a real winter trip per se, but still cold enough at night where you have to take some cold gear just to stay warm. So anyway, I'll be right back and I'll show you what I'm taking on the trip. Alright, so I apologize for the lighting. The light in this room isn't that great, and I'm not sure how the light from outside is going to affect the video, but we'll get started. So basically, you've seen some of my other videos. My pack I start out with, I just have the ULA on, the 2.0. Switched to this pack about a year ago. Absolutely love this pack. I'd read a bunch of reviews on it, and decided to go ahead and get me one and transfer over to it. It's a real minimalist, real simplistic type of pack, and it just really works for me. After that, what we got is on this trip, I do plan on taking the trekking poles. Past couple of trips I've been on, I've decided not to take them. After some consideration, I've just decided that once I get to camp, a lot of the times I really like to go ahead and set up my tarp and just go ahead and put it in porch mode. I know a lot of people say sometimes you can just find some sticks out there in the woods and use those as your post there for your porch, but yeah, just for convenience sake, I'll just take the trekking poles. It's not really that much of an issue for me. After that, I got my seat pad here. It's just a little Thermarest Z seat, just something I take. Sometimes if I get a little cold in the hammock, I can put it underneath my butt to add a little warmth, underneath my feet if they get a little cold. So that's just something nice. let's see, the weight on that, the weight on the sit pad there is only 1.7 ounces, so it's not too bad. The next thing is I have my first aid kit. I didn't take everything out of here. Just kind of show you guys, I just have some waterproof matches. I got 2 replacement batteries there for my headlamp. I have just a little basic first aid kit. Probably have too much in there. Probably could take some of it out, lose a little weight. But the weight I'm carrying right now, it's not too much weight, so it's all right. I do have some cotton balls just soaked in some Vaseline just to use for fire starter. Most of the time, and I apologize to all you tree huggers out there, we just take wet fire and just use that just to start a fire. Right now, I do not think there's a fire ban in the Smokies, but we'll have to double check and make absolute certain before we decide if we're going to do a fire. Next thing, obviously, just your TP. And then I have just a little big lighter here, and then 2 little things to carry some medicine in. That whole thing right there, the first aid kit, weighs 10.6 ounces, so not too bad. The next thing, just some small gaiters, just little ankle gaiters. I just wear those when I hike just to keep the little sticks and the rocks out. I do have some Tyvek here. I'm not going to unfold it. I just use that as my little ground pad to set up under my hammock just to set my stuff on to keep it out of the mud and the rain. I don't even know if I weighed the Tyveks. I think I did. Let's see, I apologize here. Doesn't look like I weighed the Tyveks, but it can't be more than just a few ounces. I'll tell you what, I got my scale right here. Let's just see how much it weighs. Okay, so the Tyvek weighs 1.4 ounces, so pretty light. The next thing, just have my tent stakes here. Got them in a little Cuban fiber tent stake sack. Let's see, the tent stakes, they only weigh 4.1 ounces. The next is I have my Cuban fiber tarp. Picked this up from Hammock Gear probably about a year ago. I decided to upgrade to this just to save a little weight. The tarp itself, including the stuff sack and all the guy lines and everything, is only 10.3 ounces. I love this tarp a lot. Next thing is my hammock. I'm sure you guys have seen. I just have the War Bonnet Blackbird. I actually have the double, the 1.1. Whoopee slings is my suspension, and just the regular tree straps. And I just use a little toggle and use the Marlin spike hitch as my suspension. Hammock weighs 27.6 ounces. The next thing over here, this is actually something new that I'm taking for this trip. In the past, I've always just taken a jet bowl. Decided maybe let's just try something different to save just a little bit of weight. First of all, what we have here is we just got the Tokes titanium 750 milliliter pot. Very lightweight. The only thing I don't like, and if you guys can comment and maybe help me out, is I've seen a couple of the other pots. They come with a little orange rubber on the handles here that are supposed to be like heat resistant and help to keep the pot, you know, not so hot. Mine didn't come with that, and I noticed it gets really hot on the stove. So I'm trying to figure out a way to use something to pick my pot up without having to take a large pot holder or something like that. So if anybody has any suggestions, I'd appreciate those. But onto my stove here, what I have right here is the Pocket Rocket 2. This is the new one. It's the MSR brand. I picked it up off of REI. I got my REI annual discount, my dividend back in, and decided let's just go ahead and buy a new stove. So we'll be taking this on the trip and trying it out. I'll let you know how it goes. The next thing, let's see, just a little coffee mug here. The weight on the stove. The stove with everything in it is only 13 ounces. I think my jet bowl was right around 15.8 or 16.2, so saved a little 2 ounces there. The next thing over here though is just my coffee cup. just convenience. This thing only weighs, I apologize, all this stuff's on here in random order, so I have to find it. So the GSI brand coffee mug is only 3.7 ounces. So I'm all about convenience out there in the backcountry. I'm not going on terribly long trips, so just a little bit of extra weight for convenience to have my morning coffee in, can't beat it. Something else I'm trying out on this trip, this is just the Sea to Summit. It's called the X Bowl. I'm going to try it out on this trip. It's only 2.9 ounces, so we'll see how that goes. I just got to where I was tired of eating out of the food bags, and my spoon's in here, but and then you get food all the way up your spoon. It gets all in the back of the ridges. It just seemed to be a hassle, so we'll take the bowl, we'll try it out. May or may not work. Who knows? Next, just my Tokes, just my titanium spoon. I'm sure most of you guys have seen this. Nothing special to it. It's just an all titanium long handle spoon here. The next thing, I do have my Sea to Summit Arrows pillow. This is actually the regular size. They make a regular and a large. Gadget had the large in the past, and I just found that it was a little bit too big for the hammock. So I got the regular size. It blows up, and then it also just compresses down into this little bitty carrying bag here. The pillow weighs 3 ounces, so not bad. Something else I'm trying out new on this trip. In the past, I've always taken the Sawyer Mini. The Mini was great. It was lightweight. It was easy to put in your pack. The only negative complaint I have about the Mini is it sometimes took too long to filter the water. What I mean by that is once you put it in the bag and you start to squeeze it, I felt like you had to squeeze really hard, and just the flow rate was really slow. Gadget bought one of these, let's see, the Sawyer Squeezes a couple of months back. He had it out on the trip one time. I saw it, I liked it. The flow rate on it is a lot faster, so decided to invest in one of these, and I'll be taking it on the trip. The other thing is I have this Platypus. It's a 2.5 liter water sack. I'll be taking this along as probably just one of these 32 ounce water bags here to go along with my filtration. So just my water filter and the bags, 4.5 ounces for all of that. The next thing I take is this Through Night TH10 headlamp. Shug actually recommended this a while back in one of his videos. And man, this thing's awesome. It's made out of like airplane grade aluminum. It's super durable, and this thing is super bright. I didn't look up all the stats on the lumens of an ultra bright mode, but I can tell you it's really bright. That Through Night TH10 headlamp only weighs 6.4 ounces, so not bad. Something I might take on this trip, I have not decided yet. This is just called a Darwin. It's a global solar panel battery pack. You can use it to charge up things in the backcountry. Let's see, it weighs, I thought I weighed it on here. Oh yeah, solar panel charger here, 5 ounces for this. I'll have to do a review on this later. I don't exactly know how long one full charge will last. But I'll do that, and I can do a review on it and let you all know. Super lightweight, and it's very convenient if the charge on it can actually last a decent amount of time. The next thing, just my trowel. Just leave no trace. Next is my Garmin Oregon 600. I do not know if I'm taking this yet. I've taken it on a couple of past trips when it was questionable as to whether or not the trail was adequately marked. We're going to be out in the Smokies. These trails are hiked all the time. I don't think I'm going to take it. I have my Garmin Fenix 3 watch that can pretty much give me all the data that this device here can do. Probably will not take it, but if I do, this thing weighs 8.2 ounces. Next on the list, I'm not going to take it out, but it's just my Sea to Summit. It's just a little bitty pack towel. Let's see, pack towel weighs 2.4 ounces. It's just nice to have, especially if you're hiking when it's hot. I can just hang it from my pack, use it to wipe my face. If I soak my feet, use it to wipe off my feet, my dirty hands, whatever. It dries super quickly. Like I said, Sea to Summit pack towel. It's just nice to have. Next thing, moving over here, sure you've seen it in the background so far, is my chair. Let me go ahead and pull this over here, and I'll just sit in this for the rest of the video. This chair right here is actually, can't remember the brand on it. I got it off Amazon, to be honest with you. Probably going to take it. The chair weighs 37.5 ounces. Yeah, it's heavy. Also in my pack, I didn't bring them out here, are my quilts for my hammock. So my top quilt is the Burrow 20. I got it 2 ounces of overstuff. Let me grab my weight here. I think the weight on the quilts, let's see, top quilt's 20.6 ounces. Now another new item I'm taking on this trip. In the past, you've seen me, I've taken the hammock gear under quilt, the Phoenix 20. I have it 2 degrees up, overstuffed too. Love the quilt. I've taken that quilt down to 20 degrees before, and I've been warm. However, with it being a 3/4 length quilt, I found that my feet get cold. I decided to invest in a full length quilt. After talking with Pack Rat, you've probably seen him in some of my other videos, I decided to go with the Hammock Gear Incubator Econ version of the 0 degree. Full length quilt. From some of the reviews I've read on the Econ, basically they just use a little bit different of a type material on the outer, and then the inner is filled with duck down, and it's an 800 feel versus an 850 goose down feel. Is the only difference between the Econ and the regular version. So I'll be taking the under quilt Incubator Econ 0 degree full length on this trip. So I'll have to let you guys know how that works out too. But we're only going to be hiking like 10 miles a day, 2 miles an hour. You know, that's 5 hours of hiking. What are we going to do the rest of the day? So hopefully for this trip, you know, our plan is mainly to just get outside, really enjoy being outdoors, try to get some great video footage for you guys. I think we're planning on taking some fishing rods, some lightweight fishing rods, and possibly trying to fish in some of the creeks and the streams out there. And you know, having this chair at camp, when you get to camp and you set up everything, is just super convenient. For the weight to convenience reward factor, can't beat it. I'll take the weight every single day to be able to sit in camp like this or around the campfire, and not have to sit on the ground or on a stump. So for me, on shorter trips, not a lot of hiking, I'm taking the chair. Let's see, the next thing, okay, we'll go with this over here hanging up. So this right here is called the Paca. I found this, actually I think Shug showed me this as well. This right here is basically a rain jacket and a pack cover all in one. This back piece right here actually pulls out, and it'll fit over your pack. I think it'll fit up to a 75 liter pack. I think this is the medium. This is in 10D, 10 denier fabric here. I have yet to actually have to use it, so I cannot give you a full review on it yet. But this always goes with me. Paca, it weighs 7.3 ounces, not bad. So on this trip, it's going to be late September. I think the temperatures up near Klingsman's Dome are right around low 40s, maybe high 30s at night, and about 60s during the day. So I just have my Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer jacket. I'm just going to take this down jacket just to wear around camp at night, maybe early in the morning while we're eating some breakfast and stuff. I feel like this, along with some of my smart wool stuff here, I'll show you in a minute, hopefully will be adequate enough to keep me warm, because that's all I'm planning on taking. Ghost Whisperer jacket, 7.7 ounces. Next thing, I just have these Marmot rain pants. I always just take them with me just in case it becomes a torrential downpour. I've always heard people say even if you have on rain gear, you're going to get wet. Until I experience it firsthand, I'm going to take the rain pants. If I find out they don't work, I'll leave them at home next trip. Rain pants, 9.3 ounces. The next is just my base layer, what I wear around camp and what to sleep in. This basically right here is just your smart wool base layer. I have the pants and the top. Those things are super warm. I've taken those on almost all my trips to sleep in at night. I've even found on trips where we've gone down to 20 degrees at night, I basically can sleep in just my smart wool base layer and my quilts, and I do not get too hot and I don't get too cold. So those are fantastic. Let's see, the base layers, they weigh 16.5 ounces together. Another thing I'm going to take is just this little outdoor research 100% wool gloves. Just something lightweight to have around camp. I'm not going to take my big winter gloves. I don't think I'll need it. Yeah, high 30s is still cold, but moving around, hopefully those will be enough. Those wool gloves, they only weigh 1.3 ounces, so not too bad. Let me turn the camera around here real quick. Okay, so for over here, next thing is I have a Cuban fiber stuff sack for my clothes to go in. I did weigh this thing, I think. It weighs 0.2 ounces. I mean, and it's pretty small. It packs up real easily, so I'll be taking that on the trip. This right here, this is the ear sack. It's made out of Kevlar. This is basically your food storage bag. It's pretty lightweight. Let's see, food bag. Oh, it weighs 9 ounces. That includes the ear sack, and then this right here, this basically is your scent-proof bag. I think they rate it up to like 300 times scent proofing or whatever. It's also waterproof, so put all your food in there, put it in the ear sack, tie it to the side of a tree. In our case, we'll be in the Smokies. I think every campsite has bear cables, so we'll just hang it up on the bear cable. But never obviously experienced it. Hope I never have to, but I've seen some videos on their reviews, and this thing is supposed to be completely bear proof, so hope I never find out. The next thing is just my food. Now, I do not have all my food yet. I still got to pack a few snacks, odds and end things. Like, I tell you what, Sour Patch Kids, man, you can't beat them out on the trail. Just a few other odds and ends and snacks. But basically what I do have over here, this is just some food I've had from previous trips. It hasn't expired yet. I'm not going to buy anything new, so we'll just take this on the trip. What I got here for breakfast every morning, this is going to be just your Mountain House biscuits and gravy. I've tried a lot of the breakfasts out there. Packet Gourmet is what I take for lunch and dinner. I love Packet Gourmet. I've tried a lot of backpacking brand dehydrated meals, and I can tell you that Packet Gourmet, for me, is the best flavor. The prices are about the same. Yeah, I mean, some people can say they're a little expensive, $8 for a meal. Shoot, you can hardly go to McDonald's and get a meal for $8, so you can't beat it. But for breakfast, biscuits and gravy every morning. Got 3 of those. For lunch, what I'm going to be taking here, and this is just simply, like I said, because I had it, so I don't have a lot of diversity here. It's the Packet Gourmet. You probably can't even read this, but I'll just tell you. It's the Packet Gourmet Cajun Ranch Chicken Salad. Let's see what's in there. So it's got seasoned chicken salad mix with cranberries and mayonnaise. I tell you what, for wraps, man, this stuff right here is fantastic. Add 5 ounces of water, let it sit for like 15 minutes. So basically find us a nice stream or something, get some cold water out of there, mix it in here 15 minutes. You got yourself one heck of a wrap, man. This stuff's delicious. So on to dinner. So I do have 3 different choices. Actually, well, I got 2 different choices for dinner. I have 2 of the same one. One of them is a Packet Gourmet. It's the Big Easy Gumbo. This stuff right here, if you ever been to New Orleans, tastes just like Louisiana gumbo. Let's see, it's got Cajun style andouille, spiced okra, tomatoes, gumbo, filet rice, and chicken in there. It also comes with Tabasco sauce, some turkey broth, and extra virgin olive oil. This stuff, fine, son. And the last thing that I'll have is the Packet Gourmet Texas State Fair chili. Just got to be careful at camp at night after you eat this, if you know what I mean. Other than that, can't beat it. Basically, that's what I'm taking in my pack. I do have to take an extra few pairs of clothes. I haven't added those in there. I'll have to take an extra shirt or 2, some extra socks, and some extra underwear, so I did not add that weight up. I also have to add, I also have to add in my snacks. So that weight is not in the total weight. Taking into consideration all things, right now, my dry weight is only 18.8 pounds. And I'm not even trying to go ultra light. That's pretty light. Let's say we add in clothes and food. Let's say we add in an extra 3 to 4 pounds. You're still only at 22 pounds. carry one water bottle, maybe two, you're looking at an extra 4 pounds. You're looking at a total of 26 pounds. That's not bad. That's including a 2.5 pound chair that I'm taking. You take out the chair, we could cut it down to 25 pounds for a 4-day trip. Hey, I don't know about you, but that weight's pretty convenient. Anyway, I appreciate you guys checking out this video. Never done anything like this before. I basically show you what I take in my pack, what works for me. Like I said, a few new items. I'll be glad to do video reviews on those. And one last thing, if you have any comments on what I can do for that pot to help you find a pot holder, or to make it easier to get off the fire and not burn my fingers on those handles, please comment below. Also, check the like button if you like this video, and subscribe. Flat Bill out. See you in the Great Smoky Mountains.